Welcome to the Embrace the Turn Up podcast. Cultural commentary from two guys who want all the smoke. All the smoke. And now your hosts, A-Dub and John.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're here. We are here. Happy Juneteenth, everybody. If y'all don't know, June is also Black Music Month. So, got a special guest joining me for the Embrace the Turn Up podcast Summer Music Special. I got my man's Khalil in the building. Khalil, say what up to the people.
What up, what up? Hello. Greatly appreciated to be on. It's been long overdue, but I am very grateful to be in the presence of the pod god himself, the tribal chief of this podcast.
You see me
thing that he's got going.
You guys hear it. You guys hear it. If you've forgotten by now, I am A-Dub. That is right. Your pod tribal chief. Khalil is the guest on today's show because he's the one that's always telling me to stop being such an old nigga and listen to the new niggas. And I try sometimes, and then sometimes I can't. But look, if I showed y'all some of the arguments me and this man have had over the years about music, you would be like, damn, I guess the hoes really wasn't around because y'all just arguing about rap again. Come on, you know that's true. I think about back when you was in college.
That is true. I just want Dub to just join us in this 20th, century of music. Like, just take the pill, man. It's okay. Just join the Matrix and just enjoy a little bit of it. Like, just
all right. Hi, my brother. Where do you want to start? It's a lot of music out there. A lot of things to get to.
Well, we could start with the Metro Boomin that you were saying. Across the Spider-Verse. It's a very, very solid album.
Did he set the bar too high for himself with that last album?
Okay, correct me if I'm wrong, but I felt that it was kind of a showing out for Don Toliver.
The last album,
and
the Super
Metro Boomin.
Oh yeah, that was like a Don Toliver coming out party.
And then he dropped the album. That was like the preview to what Don Toliver was going to be. That was also like a
Travis Scott, hey, don't forget about me, I'm still Travis Scott album. Like, I'm still playing that album like it came out yesterday.
And what is your favorite track off of that album before we go into Across the Spider-Verse?
I think I listen to Too Many Nights like at least twice a week, if not more. Trance is amazing. Niagara Falls.
Spider?
Wait. I thought we were talking about the Metro Boomin album before we got to Spider-Verse.
Yeah, no, the song Spider.
Spider's on this one.
Metro Spider?
Spider's on this one.
I could have sworn Metro Spider was on that Heroes and Villains. The one with Young Thug and
it's possible.
I want to say Travis Scott.
It's possible. Un momento. Research needs to be done. Is it? No, it's not. No, it is. There it is.
Okay. I was like, man, they're really gonna talk to me about my music knowledge. You don't even know what album is what.
Around Me, that's another good. Yeah, this Boomin album was just too crazy. It was
like the way he opened it up with the intro to The Boys and Future, just going the way the Future is. That album was fire.
So I say that to say,
but
I like this Across the Spider-Verse album a lot, but it's not what that album was. But I will say it fits this movie perfectly. You've seen Across the Spider-Verse, right?
I haven't seen the movie yet. Right. No, I haven't.
I'm not going to hit you with any spoilers, but I am going to tell you.
Okay.
It is the best Spider-Man movie, bar none.
I have talking to a friend of mine, and he said it's the best Spider-Man movie he's seen as well. So I'm going to have to figure. I don't know if we're going to go to the movies. Movies freak me out. Movie theaters freak me out now. So we'll have to wait till maybe get Amazon Prime or Netflix. But I'm definitely going to watch it. But I didn't see the first one either.
Oh yeah,
so.
You know what? You should just wait and then watch them together. You'll be in a nice
That's
little,
what I was thinking.
emotional roller coaster.
That's what I was thinking.
Do you think this soundtrack is better than the original Into the Spider-Verse soundtrack?
Yes.
Oh, really?
The
Because
The way that, let me look at this album again.
I mean, it starts off fire with Wayne and Offset.
That's what I was saying when I was talking to people at work. I'm like, oh, Metro's setting the bar. Like, I feel like people slept on Metro. I remember there was a conversation before, like you and John were having about producers, and Metro wasn't listed, and then you were like, well, he hasn't dropped anything since like forever, and I'm like, but it's still Metro. Like, he set the bar
right.
as of where he is. Like, I don't care if Metro dropped. Let me ask you this: in the next 3 years or so, if Metro don't release no more music, would you still believe he's might be top 5 producer in the game right now?
In the game right now, absolutely.
But would you have said that 5 months ago or a year ago when he didn't drop anything?
It would depend on who else, like whose stuff he was on. Because like when producers putting out albums, it's a new thing. So like before producers were putting out albums, they couldn't have been the hottest in the game if like the guys they collab with weren't doing anything. So like if Metro don't put out no albums and then 21, Don Toliver, Future, none of those guys put out albums either, you're like, well, no, Metro's not hot right now because he has no music out right now. He's not a, yeah. But like if he keeps at the torrid pace that he's on, and like,
yeah, but that everlasting impact that you look for, because I feel like that's where like one of your genres is of like matching with music. Every time I listen to you guys talk and you guys give perfect analysis of that, is that what is going to be a lasting memory of a song or a project that is put out. And I don't feel like any other new producers that has came out within the past, let's say the past decade is touching Metro Boomin.
I would put Mustard up there, but I don't know if Mustard's a little bit before the last decade.
But could you say that Mustard don't got any other beat than the same intro?
What do you mean, like
if you listen to all of Metro, or listen to all of DJ Mustard's songs? Somebody did this for me as well, and because I agree the same thing as Mustard's up there, but I said listen to all the Metro Mustard's songs and tell me that they don't sound the same, or at least there's not the same type of sound implemented into.
Oh no, yeah, all his beats they have a signature, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. I can pick out a Neptune's beat quickly, and same thing with a Timberland beat.
Because I guess that would be like it would be what you're known for.
Yeah, like it's not necessarily a bad thing.
It's kind of hard to knock somebody for what they're known for. Like we be like off, in our chat about how you go about Push, and I'd be like, well, come on, Push. That's what Push does. So I guess it'd be the same. Yeah,
but that's like one of my things. Like I'm glad you brought up Push because like
today you have made your first point to me to where I can recognize the fact that you have to give somebody greatness because that's what they do. You can do that one thing and you
can be great at it. Yeah,
that's fair.
That's the whole thing. Like with the Neptunes, that Neptune sound was indistinguishable, and you're like, oh, Neptunes. But damn it, it was good. It was a point in time in like 03, 04 where like 40% of the Billboard Top 100 was produced by those guys. So like you could have
exactly.
I would compare Metro Boomin more to somebody like The Alchemist. Like I pulled up an Alchemist playlist the other day, and like I'm looking through songs. I'm like, yo, Alchemist did this one, because like they all sound so different. But then but then you listen to them in succession, you're like, oh, there's a theme to them. I see it on a deeper level. But if you listen to it like a one-off, like for example, Alchemist did Wet Wipes by Cam. I didn't know that till a week ago. I was like, what?
I'm 30 years old to know that.
But if you listen to Wet Wipes and then you listen to like Got It Twisted, if you listen to them separately, you're like, there's no way he did both of those. If you listen to them together, you're like, oh, I hear how he progresses through things. But yeah, like this Don Toliver, not Don Toliver. Don Toliver's nuts as well. That's album of the year. This
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Don't you dare say that.
I don't know.
No, I'm not. I can't.
No, not that gunner. But did you see the numbers that it did?
No, I don't.
Have you looked at the numbers?
I don't look at them.
Okay, the numbers going crazy right now. But off this, back to this, Across the Spider-Verse, I'm gonna be 100% with you. My favorite song on there is "Calling."
You know what I was really hoping you were gonna say? I was hoping you were gonna say the Nas track.
It's in my top 5 of the album.
Just because you guys in the group chats, y'all don't get Nas enough praise from me. I wanted you to say Nas just for my own selfish reasons.
It is in my top 5. I mean, the album's not that long; it's 13 songs. But I would say that "Calling"
and "My Dreaming" might be up there for me. I'm such a big A$AP Rocky.
I mean, A$AP Rocky, all the way live. I mean, you can't go wrong with. But that Danger.
Oh, Danger is fire. Dangerous.
Yeah.
Offset's got
Offset
working,
been,
man.
He's
been working.
He's gonna drop an album here soon. He's gonna drop an album here soon, and it's gonna go for sure.
I was telling you that track he did with Moneybagg Yo on the Drama album. That's one of my favorite songs on that album.
You talking about Anyway?
Oof.
Yeah,
that one goes.
So if you like that, if you like that song, I'm glad you preluded into the album of the year, as I say again. Listen, it's hard to love. It's hard to love, bro. I know it. I just want you tomorrow, just front to back.
So
throw it on.
I got through the first 5 tracks.
Okay, so if you got through the first 5, you can't tell me that you wasn't. But I won't. You wasn't nodding. You wasn't nodding your head to fuck my baby mama.
That was fire. I can't say album of the year. Like Don Toliver is right there.
Man, this is a no for me.
And also, like, his style is so like.
For me, but it's for me. I just want everybody to say this, and you could judge me all you want to. This is a no skip for me, and there's 20 tracks on here.
You know, I think that's why I stopped at track 5 when I saw it was 20 tracks. I'm saying, I ain't got time for this. I mean,
that Keep It Low with Future.
I'm gonna.
That's track number 2.
I think part of it, Moneybagg Yo, for me is similar to the Baby. His voice and like his rap flow are so the same on every song that I'm like, I need to break this up with something. Like I think if I end up liking this whole album, I couldn't listen to it in one sitting. I would have to like splice it all into one playlist and just like, just for some variance of, because all his beats sound the same. He needs to sit down with someone and just get some variance on his beats.
That's fair.
Especially like the same.
But
tempo.
it's definitely I think it's the.
I was gonna say the same tempo, and his rap style is the same on all of them. I'm not gonna tell him to vary his rap style because I like his rap style. Man, if he just varied his beats a little bit, it would make his albums easier to listen to for one sitting for old ass niggas like me.
All right, let me put something in perspective for you. My father, 50.
Yep.
Right, and he been banging his Moneybagg Yo album.
Your pop's the OG for real.
The OG is for real. He has that in smooth rotation, hard. Man, he'd send me different shit. He was like, "You heard this shit?" I'm like, "I'm already hip," but so.
My father wouldn't dare. I guarantee he has no clue who Moneybagg Yo is.
Doesn't even know it's a real person.
If I told him to cut on this episode, he would say, "Y'all weren't even talking about real people. Ain't no such thing as a Metro Boomin."
So, but I think with this album, other than I mean, I liked his last album, A Gangster's Pain, but with this album, I felt like he was being toxic, but he was also speaking on real shit that us, black men go through as being in a relationship, with women, and as the way that you gotta be. If you gonna be committed, there's songs on here to be like that. But if you out there want to be toxic, there's definitely toxic ass songs.
Oh, the one where he's like, my girl
has
had a dream I was cheating. Like, how you know? I was like, nah.
She was, yeah.
Like, shit, I'm
like,
getting head in the coop right now. Glad the windows tinted. Whatever he said, I'm like, yo, this nigga's wild.
That's my favorite line of that track. What did he say? Oh my god, it's coming to me. It's coming to me too. He's like,
wow, that's all I know.
She texts me, what you doing right now? She was like, shit, say nothing. Or who told you I did that shit? She said my intuition.
I was like, yo.
I was like, oof.
Man, it's gotta calm down there. But all right, let's hop away from the Moneybagg Yo.
Okay.
Give me your review on the Gunna album. Go ahead. This is your platform right now because I couldn't get through it. I just couldn't.
All right. So being I am a Gunna fan. I've been following him since he came out with Drake, Lil Baby. Actually dropped an album on my birthday when I was in LA, that Drip or Drown 2. So I've been following him for a minute now. I would say this is probably one of his top 3 albums that he's dropped.
5,
I would
right?
put it probably. Yeah, let me count them. Let me do the research. So he's got, because I didn't like that one he dropped, DS Forever. I didn't really like that. That one had like Pushin P.
I hated Pushin P so much.
And the song with Drake. But that was the only 2 songs I really liked on that album for real. And then they had the Too Easy with Future and Roddy Ricch. But
are you a Roddy Ricch fan?
The album he dropped was
okay.
No.
I think he's terrible at everything.
I don't like him. I don't like him.
I think he's Don Toliver without talent.
He's good on features.
I really do.
He good on features, but I can't sit up here and say, let me get in the whip and cut that Roddy Ricch on.
I would hit my ejector button if somebody told me to cut on Roddy Ricch.
Yeah. But after everything that has been going on with, him and Young Thug and the whole like Rico case, everybody's been tweeting about how he's a snitch and how he out free and we not gonna listen to his music no more and this, that, and the other. But in the same regard, we ain't never seen something so polarizing as what happened between them. The only thing that we ever seen like that was Tekashi 6ix9ine. You know what I'm saying? And we all know that Tekashi 6ix9ine wasn't putting music out like Gunna was. So he had such a respect in the game for that, especially with the shit he was talking about on his albums. You wouldn't think that the media or anything like that would portray it to be that he was a snitch or anything like that. And I think that a lot of like my generation and a lot of what people do is clickbait and go off of headlines of what they want you to believe. At the end of the day, though, what happened in that courtroom, the people know are the only people that know what happened in that courtroom behind closed doors as well. Like, we can't sit up here and say, I'm not someone that knows what the court of law is. On top of the fact, I'm not going to sit up here and say that if it comes out to find out that he did in fact snitch. I mean, I don't condone snitching either, but I'm still going to respect and hear the dude out about what he's talking about. And this album, he do all of that. Did from front to back. Like, I think a lot of, I was talking to my one buddy about this, and he was telling me, he's like, you know how close him and Thug were, right? And his first song, he was like, bro, if you ever think that I would snitch on my brother, is you serious? Like, no, there ain't no way that I would sit up here and snitch on my blood brother that's put me on. I can't believe that, and he wouldn't even put that on wax if he didn't actually feel the same way. So a lot of people got opinions about, the things that they say, that they see on, like, online, as I said again, and there's no validity to that. You don't know what them people going through. What if Thug was like, hey, go ahead and do this. Shit, we need this money. I need, you know what I'm saying? You got mouths to feed. You still got families. My family got to eat. Like, we all in this together. And if we all go down, then definitely everybody going to be out here hurting bad.
So
you don't know those conversations at all. And neither do I. But I'm just saying that you gotta give some type of respect to it, to the fact that this is what it is. And on top of the fact that I even seen, there was one point in time that Thug, even on his Instagram, was putting Gunna's music underneath his stuff. So if he really didn't like him, or if he didn't really, I'm trying not to curse or anything, but if he wasn't trying to, if he really wasn't fucking with dude like that, do we really think that Gunna would be able to even drop an album?
So here's what I'm gonna push back on you. One, all the younger kids talking about, we're not rocking with him no more because he this, he that, and blah 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 blah. Y'all was the nicest kids in high school, straight A's. You not about that. You never was. 5-car garage kids. Go listen to the Gunna album. It's not gonna hurt your internet street credibility, because let me let you in on a little secret, guys. Internet's not the streets. That's my first thing. Kids, go listen to the Gunna album. Mm-hmm. If you rocked with him before, rock with him now. Whatever. The second thing. We have had things like this before. Murder Inc. was the biggest record label on the planet when the feds kicked in their door and tried to pull them in on the RICO charges based on the idea that Irv was like laundering money for Supreme McGriff, who was like going to go down in the top 20 of biggest drug dealers in the world. And we, as in the hip hop community, we watched that whole thing go down, and Irv was just like, I ain't talking about Supreme at all. I'm not saying nothing to nobody. And risked like 30, 40 years, and he walked. They couldn't really pin it on him. They couldn't pin anything else on Supreme, and he walked away. And it's crazy because racketeering, RICO charges, and the feds, 99% conviction rate. They don't come for you unless they're ready to come for you, because they put so much money behind it that if they lose, people get fired. And they get fired to the point where they can't even be legal aids anymore. So
it's niggas really talking. How do you think that we got snatched?
Like
you can't.
So listen, that's where my skepticism comes in about Gunna. But I'm like, it's the feds, it's RICO. They invented RICO laws to catch Al Capone. These laws didn't exist. They're not based on any actual I guess commandment, if you will, of thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal. They're based on the idea of you made a plan to commit a crime. Jadakiss, one of my favorite lines from Jadakiss is, a nigga only fears getting charged with conspiracy. Because conspiracy doesn't technically mean you even did any fucking thing. It means you thought about doing it. Which is insane. About doing it, right. So that, and that's where my thing comes in, where I'm like, maybe he didn't tell on Thug, but for him to be walking free, at the end of this, somebody not walking free.
Well, there are videos, and like I said, you watch Power, right? Okay, I watch Power just like you do. There are ways to where we've seen it, the DA and the judge be manipulating situations to make it seem like what he's saying is true. Now, what I heard him say was that, are you a member of YSL or Young Stoner Life Records? And do you know it to be a gang? They be screaming game all the time. Slime, gang. Yes. I can't lie and sit up here and say that I didn't say that when you have me on wax saying that. Like I would go to jail then just based off perjury alone if I said that.
Because what you said on that record is not, you weren't under oath when you said that.
We don't know what them conversations was in the back.
Right, but this also comes to the bigger point.
Before he even got to court. You know that before he even got to court or before anybody even set the trial or nothing like that, or even them hearings. We don't know what them conversations were, and we will never know. Now, here is what I would like to say, and then if you would love to have me back, I would love to come back. But what I will say is that, did you see what Metro Doughboy, shout out to his album, it's also very good as well. And a couple 21 Savage and a couple other artists did this past week is they put that QR code out, and in 5 days, Young Thug is dropping an album.
Oh, is that what that's
now?
Called? I saw everybody was posting QR codes, but it was still a mystery when I saw it, and I didn't.
It said 5 days, and it was like a countdown. Yeah, he's supposed to have. It's supposed to be either one, he's getting released, or two, it's going to be an album. Now, if it's an album, and gonna drop this album on Friday, and he drop an album the next following Friday, and it contradicts everything that what Gunna just said, and there's some proof behind it. You could kill my entire argument then.
Yeah. I won't even have to have a podcast topic list at that point.
Listen,
I mean, phone lines for the first time ever.
At that point, like it's up for interpretation on who's telling the truth and who's not. I mean, it's really hard to say that somebody that's still behind bars releasing new music or actually is able to tell his story behind bars. Really hard for them to not believe
when you ain't
the
got
shit
nothing
he's saying
to lose.
Because clearly he's not in jail. Right. If you locked up and you recording, I mean, at that point I would think that everything you're saying is factual
information. Nothing to lose. Why lie, right?
Right.
I mean, everybody believes Shine when he dropped that album from Behind Bars. Underrated album, by the way. Godfather Buried Alive. Kids go listen to it. I'm
gonna have to go listen to it because I'm not aware.
Shine was supposed to be the one, man. He was supposed to be the one.
It's funny because Doughboy said that on his album. He was like, "If Future in the club, then I'm gonna go out like I'm Shine."
I'll say, like, Shine was supposed to be that dude, man. Like, and then started shooting the gun off in the club with Diddy and J-Lo there, and somebody had to take the fall, and guess who wasn't about to take the fall? Diddy and Jennifer
It wasn't
Lopez.
Diddy, I tell you that man is Teflon Don. That man ain't never been charged with anything.
It's crazy. All right, enough of the Gunna stuff. So,
okay,
you got any other new releases that you are excited for that you know are coming out this summer?
Utopia, for sure.
Who's that?
Travis Scott's project.
Does that have like a concrete release date yet? Is it just sometime in June?
They said July. They said July. Mike Dean said he's putting the final touches on it, so
I hear he's supposed to get a Drizzy album this summer at some point.
Drizzy made the summer album a year ago. Okay? Y'all just now catching up to it.
That's what I heard. Uzi's dropping at the end of the month, the Pink Tape. If we still consider that hip hop, do we? No.
I don't.
I'm not either. I hate 99% of his music, but as a nigga who's always outside, I just want to rock.
If you're outside, you love his music.
Outside,
that's for sure.
And I just want to rock. Come on, whoo! That's a record. That's a record. I didn't get it when I first heard it because when I first heard it, it was still cold out. And when I got outside, I heard it. I said, I get it. I'm there. I'm there. There's so many records like that. I tell people all the time, like, I can tell if you go outside or not based on music that you just say you hate. You can tell me you don't like an artist, but you can like a song because you go outside.
I can tell you at least about 5 of them songs is for the summer off that Moneybag album for sure.
Think so? What kind of clubs you going to in Columbus? I don't know if I'm gonna come down there. You out there with the Element.
Is it any other way to be?
Not at all. I move closer to the Element. I said, get me out of these suburbs. I need to be closer to my people. I need to hear some sirens.
But it where we are is it's a lot of the top 40. Actually, you know what? I was just talking to my fiance about this too. Wiz's new album. See ya?
When's that coming out?
That just dropped on Tuesday. It dropped on Tuesday. I had no idea about it.
See, that's how you know. That's how you know Wiz smoked so much weed that he living in the past. He's still dropping albums on Tuesday.
He dropped an album on Tuesday, and it's fire, bro. It is.
That last one he put out, that collab album, that was fire.
Cardo, Whistle Got Wings?
No, hold on. I forget who else was on it, but it was crazy.
I know Cardo did the album for sure.
Full Court Press. Him, Smoke DZA, Girl Talk produced it. Big Crit is on it too. That album was crazy. Came out like.
Oh damn! He did. Or yeah, I didn't like the multiverse was okay. It was not like it wasn't nothing to like go crazy about. But I didn't even notice that he dropped that. But the Sia is super nice. So you play that anywhere for real. Because Wiz be making his beats are like top 40, and you can really just rap over top 40 beats all the time.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up Wiz. I'm very glad you brought up Wiz. Have you heard about the Blog Era podcast? So the Blog Era podcast is from the two hip hop comedians, the white dudes. It's The Real, where it's basically like almost like an ESPN 30 for 30 type thing, where they just talk about that whole era of music from about. To me, it starts about like 2008 when Drama got arrested to about 2016, 2017 when it was just all the blogs putting out the music. So that's where you got Wiz and Sean and Mac and Wale and Crit and like it was such a time. And like Nipsey came out of that, and they did a whole episode about the rise and fall of Charles Hamilton, which felt like it happened in minutes. Like he went from a guy who's like, oh man, he got bars for days, and he put out that Brooklyn Girls song, to the guy that got punched in the face on camera by his girl, and God knows where he is now. And then they started talking about I recommend everybody who's interested in music from that era to go check it out. And they would talk about like how the labels were giving them music to put on these blogs, but then the legal department would tell them to take it down 2 days later, and they were like, hey, you guys are pirating our music. I'm like, no, your fucking A&R just gave it to me. And it was crazy. And then like,
I was today years old. I was watching the show Dave, right? And I really didn't understand how much money that people like the music industry has. And I was watching Dave, and they bought him a house to just record in.
They blow through money.
Like, I don't know if you've seen season 2 of Dave, or if you've watched Dave at all. But the house that they gave him to record in, he was just living there. And they were like, here, just give us an album, but this is your home now.
Yeah.
That's insane. If you were 18 years old and you came out and you dropped 5 hot tracks like that, and a label signed you and was like, here's your house. You don't have to pay rent. You don't have to pay anything like utilities. We'll get you anything you want. Food, stock, everything. Would you know how to act?
No.
No way in hell I would know how to act.
When your album come out and it go platinum, and then you realize you don't get no money from it because all that stuff was your advance, then you start acting different. And
do I get the house still?
I mean, Yeah, because you got to live there to record your next album because they got you for a 5-album deal.
That's fine. Listen, this work ain't going nowhere. Listen, that's what I'm
what if
on.
that
Shit,
second
if I
album don't hit
don't
and the label decide to let you go, and now you got to pay property taxes on a house, and you have no more income coming in.
Because thinking about it now, and let me know if I'm right about this. You make that money off of touring if you really want money. Yeah. And being locked down for 2 years, you ain't making that money off touring. Exactly. I tell you that.
Exactly.
So people is hungry out here.
I want everybody listening right now that's thinking about getting in the music industry as an artist. A record contract ain't nothing but a loan. It ain't nothing but a loan. And you gotta pay that shit back.
That's another people that they listening to. Stop thinking that you got to take somebody else's gift away. You got your own gift. Yep. You don't have to. Just because he got what he got, don't mean that it's really what he got for real.
Exactly. Don't count other people's pockets. That's the quickest way to block your blessings is counting other people's pockets. But
listen.
Anyways.
I never understood that.
I don't either. I call people out whenever they do it. When they argue about NBA contracts, NFL contracts, music, I'm like, why are you in that man's pocket? Why don't worry about what he got. Don't worry about what they got at all.
I hate to keep on touching about the Moneybagg Yo album, but he was talking about that too. Is like on the album, he going through real life stuff, but you could say pound for pound right now, he in my era of music right now, he top 5 in the game, but. That man just lost his baby mama. Had to take in both of his kids. And you know how polarizing he is on IG. To be able to still be able to produce music, go on the road, things like that. You don't know what people going through their life like that.
And money don't solve all your problems. It'll solve a lot of your problems. Let me tell you,
it solves a lot.
I would take a lot of the problems that I could have while having money versus the problems I have by not having money. But anyways, back to this blog era thing. So you were kind of coming up during the blog era. What was like your favorite project from that time, and like favorite artists, like mixtape wise or like free album wise, from like those blog era guys?
You said from like 2008,
like end of 08 to like 2015, 2016, in my opinion.
All right, so obviously Wayne.
Yep.
Wayne's a given.
Yep.
Right. Anything that Wayne dropped at that point in time was.
I'm talking about like the new guys, the new guys that were coming out around. Yeah.
The new guys. My whole senior year was dedicated to kids.
Kids in the Hall. Cool Kids.
Kids.
Mac Miller. The Mac Miller Kids album. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm there.
Yeah, Mac Miller Kids. Kicking incredibly dope shit. Yeah. That whole album. Me and my friends would drive around Cleveland listening to that. All the way through high school and beyond. I graduated in 11, so it was right prime of my high school career for real. Another, obviously being from Cleveland, Machine Gun Kelly was coming up in that type of era, so he dropped the mixtape 100 Words and Running, and he had the city going with that, and then also like with Chip the Ripper. Al Fats. Trying to think who else for real, and of course Wiz, like
mixtape
Wiz, like you alluded
Deal
to.
Or No Deal is one of
mixtape Wiz was something insane. What was that? Cabin Fever. Cushion Orange Juice.
Phone numbers.
Listen,
it's funny you brought up Mac. I got hip to Mac a little bit earlier than everybody else. I got hip to Mac in like 2009 on his very first mixtape called The High Life, because a dude I went to.
That's where I got hip
I went to
him.
high school
but it wasn't. I had listened to it, but it wasn't Kids.
Yeah.
Like I feel like Kids set that bar for like.
Yeah, it was one of those things like. A dude I went to high school with produced one of the tracks on The High Life, and he told me about it. He was real cool with Mac, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm gonna check it out. And I listened to it, I was like, nah, this kid gonna be special. This kid gonna be special.
I just wish that him and Wiz did a lot more together
Yeah.
than they did.
Yeah, both
You know?
being from Pittsburgh, both being weed heads, like it made so much sense on paper. You're surprised it didn't happen more often, for sure.
Yeah, I remember. I think Envy asked Wiz about why that didn't come about, and he said it's not the fact that he didn't have love for Mac or nothing like that, but he also saw Mac on another side than a lot of other people did, and he decided to go a different route. But seeing as it now, like I question that because I'm listening and I'm seeing what Wiz is doing too, and I'm like, you could have just brought him under the wing, bro. Like, you know. But shout out to somebody like Schoolboy Q though, you know, for taking Mac under his wing and during that time period. Could you imagine what we would have gotten if like Mac would have signed to TDE though? Back in the day,
crazy.
That'd have been scary, bro. Like,
but yeah, like
think about it, and then especially if he was alive now, could you imagine Baby Keem and him and Mac on the same track together?
No, because of the music that Mac was making towards the end was so different than like his early stuff.
Just for a one time, he would have just
yeah. It would have been nuts.
Yeah.
But
I will say this, that Kendrick mentioned him during his rant. So
what?
On Control.
Oh yeah, he mentioned everybody from the blog era. Yeah,
listen,
everybody. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Mac was definitely one of my favorites from that era. Crit was crazy, especially coming out of Mississippi. Whew.
I didn't get into it that much, but I respected it. Definitely respected it.
And then of course that's when my guy Push started going solo, and you know I'm a Push guy all the way.
Now let me ask you this, because I feel like during that time, correct me if I'm wrong. No, that might have been sooner. It might have been sooner. But where was T.I. in that era of that? Because you got to also think about Gucci too.
So I would put T.I. and Gucci more in the mixtape era before then.
The mixtape era, not the blog before then?
To me, the blog era starts with Drama getting arrested and you effectively not getting like Gangsta Grills the way you used to. Because once Drama got arrested,
Fair.
K-Slay slowed down, Clue slowed down, DJ Big Mike pretty much disappeared. Who is it? Games DJ New Jersey Devil completely disappeared off the face of the map. Mm-hmm. Like, and they were making like crazy mixtapes. Like, if you can ever find it, Black Wall Street Volume 1 is one of my all-time favorite mixtapes. It's from Game and everybody he had signed to Black Wall Street at the time. I think J-Rock is on it. I think Kendrick is on it too, actually. Mm. He was still rapping under the name K-Dot at the time. Your Boy is on it. Vita, who used to be on Murder Inc. Charlie Baltimore is on it. And like, it's this crazy, essentially free album. It's Black Wall Street Journal Volume 1. It's insane. But like once Drama got arrested, all of that stopped. And you were only getting like new music through these blogs, and then like free albums through, and like guys were only doing like mixtapes that were like artist based with the artists they rocked with. And like every so often you would get something different, like Sean doing Finally Famous Volume 2 with Don Cannon and Mick Boogie, even though Mick Boogie's from Chicago, Don Cannon's, ATL/Philly. But that era is kind of like the successor to the mixtape era, because the mixtape era was like boom, boom, everybody, all the new joints on.
Because I was gonna say that I forgot about Big Sean too, because he was like, you were saying he's part of the blog era then, right? You can't not think about Big Sean in that, like Finally Famous.
All three.
You can also think, but you can also throw Cole in there too.
My favorite project from the blog era is Friday Night Lights.
The last track on Friday Night Lights, I love J. Cole's verse in Looking for Trouble. Sean's verse is so much better, bro.
Yeah.
I'm just a West Side lover. I leave females in my sheets and all my feelings in a rubber.
Yeah.
Mm, mm.
Like Cole's verse is nasty, but Sean had the best verse on that song. But it's a crazy song. Like you think about a song, it's like Kanye, Sci-Hi, Push, Sean, and Cole on the same track with that sample.
Man, that's insane.
Like, and I already love that sample because that sample was used on Cameron's Purple Haze. Purple Haze is used on the song Bubble Music. So when I heard that sample, I said, "Oh, we about to do something special here with that track list." I'm like, "Yep, insanity."
See, my cousin got me back into the Diplomats because I would like I picked him up one time out of like in Canton, and he was like he from the West Coast. So like, I would never think that he would listen to like Cameron, but he is like hard Diplomats fan. Like, I mean, like through and through, like Diplomats fan. So like when you be talking about him, like I have to respect it because like my fam love it. Like to this day, will fight tooth and nail about it. But I would love to know what your opinion about Hell Rail.
I know way too many Hell Rail verses than any one man should for a guy who was not that famous. Like it kind of scares me.
No, but that was his man's. That was his man's for real. And he, I can't pull one out of my head right now because like I don't listen to him that much. But the way that like you could tell when you're like somebody trying to show you new music and how much it influences them. I could see it in my cousin, man. He live or die by the Diplomats to this day.
So, is your cousin closer to my age, like 35, 36?
No, my cousin my age, might be like a couple years older than me.
So, for cats my age and John's age, in like 2000, 2001, like everything was shifting down south, justifiably so. Crazy shit was coming out of there, but record labels were leaving too. And then all you had up there was just the New York rap labels that were like the vanity labels of the rappers. But then you had these guys that just came out and they were brash and like they did fashion statements and they talked a certain way and you were like, what is this? And then they brought this sound with them of like Kanye he produced for other people with the sped up soul samples, but like it was sprinkled in here or there. The Dips, they were all in on it, and they had Kanye and the Heatmakers all doing that same sound. And then when they didn't have that, they had Just Blaze bringing in the horns, so everything sounded like an anthem.
But that's why I think like because like when I was growing up, my father played that shit on a regular basis, like big. And another person, but that was more like during the mixtape era, was Joel Santana. Like growing up, like when I was younger, like I would say like maybe like 5th through like the 8th grade. Listen, you would think Joel Santana would be as big as Drake is today back then. Like anytime Joel's hopped on a track, he was like, "Oh, it's about to go."
Yeah, like they were just that important to the cultures. Like especially, I can't speak for New York because I'm not from there.
Here's the thing that you gotta respect. Here's the thing that you definitely gotta respect is that Drake gives them their flowers every chance he gets. He's the same age
as me. He was there. Like I'm telling you, that movement was huge. Everybody in my high school was wearing pink except for me. Everybody. Because I just knew, I said, I just don't look good in pink. I just can't do it. But everybody was wearing pink.
Will you wear pink today?
Maybe not like bright pink the way Cam was wearing. Maybe like,
okay,
I'd wear a pink that would like you would call salmon. If you feel me.
Okay,
but like
that's fair.
I just don't like the way I look in bright pink. It just, I don't know. It doesn't match my hue, if you will.
My father is like, you will never catch me in no pink anything, bro.
But no, like just the way they dress all the time. They always had, the do-rags with the capes out and the strings down, and I still wear my Big Jesus piece to this day.
The towel over the head with, you know what I'm saying?
I know so many people was just wearing towels on their head just because they saw the Diplomats do it. Like, so many things that
You feel like Jules Santana, bro.
you got to. But yeah, no, the Dips was a real movement. It was, and the music was high quality
For
too.
sure.
Like that's the thing about it. Like there were plenty of guys who like they had a swagger about them and they could do some stuff, but the music was like extreme high quality too. I think Purple Haze is still one of the best rap albums of all time. Diplomatic Community and One, there aren't too many good double disc hip hop albums. In my opinion, it's that and it's Ready to Die. And I think that might be it. Honestly.
So those are your top two.
Double disc.
You know, John
hip hop albums. Double disc.
Double disc. Oh, okay.
No,
those are
not my top two.
I've been trying to get you to say your top 5 albums for about 2 years
top
now.
5 albums? Man, that's difficult.
Yeah.
That's difficult.
Exactly.
Like top 5 favorite, or what I think the top 5 best are. I mean, yeah.
Your top 5 favorite, because I feel like a lot of people they know you, but like they don't know why you would feel like that would be your favorite. You know what I'm saying? Like obviously they know you're a big Jay-Z fan. They obviously know you a big Push fan, so they'll be like your fans know that's the type of genre you listen to, that's the type of music you like, but you gotta throw a curveball, man. You got there has to be a curveball in there that you would be like, oh, I would never think that would be in his top 5.
My top 2 favorite albums, and I can't differentiate between the two, are College Dropout and The Blueprint.
Okay.
And then after that, I would have 3 more. Oof. That's tough.
Me and Daphne went through this the other day.
Tough.
I told her I would say Damn would be on mine. Watching Movies with the Sound Off by Mac Miller. I would say it's always a toss up for me because like I feel like the cheesy version would just cop out and say Take Care, but
if that's your favorite, that's your favorite. Like I like that album too.
I love nothing, but I love Nothing Was the Same more than I love Take Care. Yeah, and I like, but I'm gonna have to still say Take Care because Take Care has one of my wedding songs on it, and I live that down to to the end degree. So, and then there's no particular order in this. Marshall Mathers LP.
That's in my top 10. It used to be my top 5, but I grew up a little bit. I'm not as angry anymore.
Yes, but then again, like for me, Eminem is always gonna be number 1. I don't know why, but like I don't. As much as I love Drake, he's never gonna surpass Eminem.
I don't think anyone's better at like the actual art form of putting words together than Eminem is. But when it comes to the total package, he's like 3 or 4 for me.
What did I say? 3 so far. I then probably say The Chronic 2001. That's what I grew up on. And then Wild Card on there. Astroworld.
Okay. I'm not mad at that. Man, outside of my top 10, that's difficult for me. I'm looking through playlists right now.
Like I'll throw Astroworld on because like it's the best song to be able to like you could just drive, and by the time if you got a 2-hour drive somewhere, you could throw that album on and you're there.
That is a fact. Whew. 5 albums.
But Dub, how old is you? So you only 5 years older than me, and you see how much of a range of 5 years. I want people to know. Listen to this. He's 35 and I'm 30, and when you're talking about music with your friends, you got to be able to respect the 5-year age gap.
Carter 2 is up there for me.
Yes. For sure.
Southfield Lathrop parking lot, 2004. That's all you would hear. We was bumping it all day, every day. And I don't think Wayne would ever put on anything better than that.
Okay.
4 and 5 is tough. I don't know. I don't want to go back to Ye, but I might end up going back to Ye.
Oh yeah.
Trap music is up there for me with T.I. That was something special when I was a kid. Thug Motivation. C5 is so difficult. I've heard so many albums. Teflon Don is 4 for sure.
Teflon Don.
That it's unreal. It's just unreal.
So they did a concert recently, right? What was it? The Return of the Streets or the Street Legends or something like that tour?
Yeah,
right?
with all those mid-2000s guys.
Why was T.I. the closer?
Because in 06, 07, wasn't nobody bigger than T.I., man. He went to jail, came out, and was still the biggest artist in hip-hop. With Get Loose video.
Because he was dead and gone? Because he was dead and gone?
That was later. I see what you did there. That was later. Well played. Well played, sir. Well played.
No, man. Like, I was sitting there talking to my friend this past weekend about that. There ain't no way you can't tell me that either Gucci or Jeezy got to close that concert.
At their peak, they were not bigger than T.I. was at his peak. I promise you.
But Jeezy had the streets on lock, bro. T.I. was not.
Before Jeezy got there,
like
T.I. had the streets on lock and the charts on lock.
You're going to have to run me through that then, because you can't have whatever you like.
So, and I want to say in like 2001, his first album, I'm Serious, was like, it was nothing great. Like, I think he got dropped. But then in 2001 came around, and he came out here with that 24s. Whew.
Causing clothes. That's what. Okay, yeah.
And then he had tracks off of that trap music, like Doing My Job, where it was just a piano, when he was just talking about just being a dope dealer. And then he was on that Never Scared song with Killer Mike and Bone Crusher. And to this day, I would tell you Killer Mike's a better rapper than T.I., but T.I. had the verse you remember. Because I'm a bankhead, nigga. I take your cookies. Everybody was saying that.
I remember
and then T.I. was the guy who signed DJ Drama to a record deal, and Drama was official Pimp Squad Click DJ. And then he put out that mixtape called Down with the King. Woo! Started that beef with Lil Flip and effectively ended Lil Flip's run when Lil Flip was starting to get hot. And then he put out Hey Let's Get Away. Recorded that video while on house arrest. And that song shot to the top of the charts. And then he put out Urban Legend. And because
I'm looking through it right now. Urban Legend, You Don't Know Me.
Yeah.
Why You Mad at Me? The Greatest.
And then he followed that up with King. And all at the same time, he's putting Dro out there. He's still on mixtapes. He's still on other people's shit. T.I. at his peak was bigger.
They got Down with the King actually on
they started putting a lot of those drama mixtapes on there. I was very surprised by that. That's another drama crazy thing that came out like right around the blog era.
30. I might have to check that out. I might listen to this at work tomorrow.
T.I.'s run was magical. It was simple.
But someone like me, you know what I'm saying? Like, look, let me go back to Jeezy because
I was right there. I was right there for Jeezy. I remember, and because Jeezy got so much love in Detroit, we was hype on Jeezy from the get go. But I'm telling you, as someone who saw it, T.I.'s run at the top was something different, man.
Because for me, Let's Get It, Thug Motivation and 101 it just craps all over those three albums you just said about T.I.
Music, but it's better than every other T.I. album except for trap music.
Let me go back and look at what trap music is saying, because man, listen, because that Thug Motivation 101, that's a no skip for me.
There's a couple songs I can skip on that, but I do love that album. Yeah, take a look back. Yeah.
I'll give you Rubber Band, man.
Oh, that song. When I tell you, you talk about a song that was
Like
everywhere.
24, Be Easy.
Be Easy, Doing My Job. The intro, trap music
Yeah.
itself.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then you got to remember,
It'd be a nice. That'd be a nice little verses though. If Jeezy ever would do it.
Jeezy would get washed.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah.
T.I. got.
Are we allowed to put?
Like six
are we allowed to put
off rip, and then everything else is debatable. And once everything else becomes debatable, it becomes a wash at that point because you got T.I. got like 6 records that Jeezy just can't beat.
Give me them.
24s. What you know?
Hold on.
Still taking 24s.
Okay.
What you know about that? Be
Seen
Easy.
it all.
Top Back.
I love it.
He ain't got nothing. Jeezy ain't got nothing for Top Back, and Jeezy's on the remix too. Look at T.I.'s other unbeatables. Like, yeah, whatever you like, Dead and Gone. That's all she wrote. Bring them out. Yeah, like
It would be there. It would be there for sure.
and I love Jeezy. I'm a huge Jeezy fan, but Jeezy would get washed. He would not want to see T.I. in the verses.
Okay, so let me ask you this, since because we talk about old niggas and we were talking about the state of new niggas. Let's get back on that topic. Name me a new nigga that you would think that you would want to listen to in a verses right now.
I think a Yo Gotti versus would be fun.
Yo Gotti?
Yeah, I think he would have a fun versus.
Trying to think who would face up. He ain't here no more, so you wouldn't be able to do that. But that would be the only other person I think that would stack up to that.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
For
sure.
Yeah, I mean, all the cats that aren't here anymore, like Dolph, Pop Smoke would have a fun versus. Because he put out some records like, oh, yep, that was fire. Nope, that was fire. Trying to.
Juice WRLD would be nice against Pop Smoke.
That would be interesting. But that's such different fan bases. Like
that's true.
The Juice WRLD fan is not going to tell you that anything Pop Smoke does is good.
No, that's true.
New niggas. Because let's be real, like out of the new niggas, nobody's touching the boy. Drake.
Who? At least you acknowledge.
Oh, out of new niggas, like rappers that debuted after 2008. Nobody wants that. No, nobody wants that. No, that would just be
Wayne. Wayne might be the only person that can touch it.
2008. Now you start talking about rappers before 2000, that debut before 2008. You got some punchers.
You should just set it up.
I should
push Drake. You listening to this? Just set it up. Set it up. The beef of all beefs ends in a verses.
Oh, Push would get destroyed by Drake in the verses, but in a rap battle,
I don't think Drake would want any of that.
No, he already lost the track for track one. A 21 Savage versus would be cool, but I don't know who would step up to that plate because he put out hit after hit after hit.
Lil Baby and NBA YoungBoy would be funny.
Yeah, that would be something interesting. Kodak Black doing the verses would be interesting because you forget how many like actual hits he has. Even though I'm not a big fan, but you know, a hit is a hit is a hit. I mean, you got some new guys that could, you know, put on nice little verses.
I'm just happy you're acknowledging the new niggas today.
Hey man, it's Black Music Month. You gotta put on for them. Yeah. But
what are you gonna do for me by the next time I talk to you Hopefully, it's not too long. But what are you gonna do the next time I talk to you? You're gonna have listened to the Moneybag album, right?
album for sure. And then you're gonna send me a list of 4 new niggas to listen to that I've never heard of. And Baby Tron can't be one of them because I tried that and no.
I won't send you Baby Tron. I know you're not gonna go on the Baby Tron the wave. I know you don't like it. But my thing with Baby Tron is that I know it sounded, but a lot of do you like those type? Being from Detroit and being from Michigan, do you like that type of music?
The almost on beat, straightforward rap type. I like those that are the best at it.
Who would you say is good at it right now?
Say the Baby's really good at it.
I'll give you that.
I Swear Vezo's really good at it.
In my rotation,
so
heavy.
You got to be the top tier because after that, Payroll's great at it. Payroll's my actual cousin, so I got to put on for the fam. You know what it is.
Okay.
But then after that, I'll revert to those who rap in the style that I'm used to.
What about Babyface Ray? What about Babyface Ray?
He's good at it. I just don't like a lot of his music. I've heard some stuff I like, but then I'm like, I don't like enough of the stuff from my Spotify to be like, hey, check this out.
That's fair. His last album was pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
To me,
I like this Cleveland and Detroit connection that they got there. We can stop beefing with each other. That we make music together.
We only got beef when it's basketball season.
That's the only time we got beef. We root for y'all Lions, and there's somewhat y'all root for Cleveland Browns out there. But
I just want y'all to make better decisions. Because I know what it's like to have an organization that makes bad decisions.
I'm not a Browns fan.
Oh, that's right. You're not. Yeah, you're not.
But I'm not a Browns fan. I can care less about what they do.
We had the whole debate about your team. But truthfully, the best newer artist out of Detroit, in my opinion, right now, it's Cash Doll. She out raps all them niggas.
Yeah?
Her Gangsta Grills, I was like, oh, this is it.
So a new is it? I don't know if it's a new song, but I think it's a remix. Bro, that Put It on the Flow with Lotto and Cardi B.
I'm a big Lotto fan. And Cardi can do no wrong in my
book. Bring me out the practice classic. I've been acting brand new.
Yeah, I've been a big Lotto fan ever since she first dropped.
I don't know if you heard that remix, but Cardi's.
I heard it.
Cardi been spitting, bro.
Cardi got bars.
Cardi been going
Cardi
crazy.
Got bars. I don't care what about it. Cardi got bars.
What you think about Glorilla?
Yeah, it's a moment. I don't think it'll be around for a long time. Same thing with Scarlett. It's a moment. It's cool. You still can't convince me that Fuck Nigga Free song is a good song. I will acknowledge it's a hit.
The beat is crazy.
I still can't say it's a good song.
What would you rather listen to more? Fuck Nigga Free or Tomorrow? Yeah. She was actually spitting on that Tomorrow song. It just hurts your soul because I think as a man you just don't want to be damn fuck nigga out here. I think that's why you don't like it. That might be why you don't like it, because you'd be like, I ain't screaming fuck nigga free. I ain't been around no fuck niggas. So
you know what I don't like about it? You know what? The girls in the background and the hey and the let's go. I think about seeing that out and just being exhausted.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Or being around chicks that start doing that.
The element.
Oh, here we go again.
That's the element. You just need to be around that element more. You gotta get out of P-Bird.
I'm in the Toledo now. I'm in the element.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
you're
again,
in the element.
Still, that element is exhausting.
That element might be safe around that element. Okay.
I'm from Detroit, bro. The toughest nigga in Toledo wishes they were from Detroit. Come on now.
I love you, dog.
All right, I do. Let's get back on track here. Let's get back on track here. Let me ask you this question before we get out of here.
I got you.
For the first time in 30 years, we're 6 months into the year, and there has not been a number one record or number one album that has been a hip hop album. Why do you think that is? Because I have my theory, but I want to hear yours.
My theory is that there's only one. I contribute it to the music festivals for real. Like, there's only one big hip hop music festival that happens every year. It's Rolling Loud, and it brings in the amount of think about music festivals in the grand scheme of things. You got Electric Forest, you got Bonnaroo, you got give me another off the top of your head. Coachella.
That's all I got. Burning Man.
What's Burning Man?
Southwest.
All these different South by Southwest, right? So you got all these music festivals, right, that generate so much revenue and so many people coming together, right? How many hip hop artists or anything like that are on those lineups to be able to showcase their music?
But why is that?
I feel like we're just being blackballed.
Because the labels have like all the proof in the world that nothing moves the needle more than hip hop and black music, especially.
They scared.
But they got scared this year.
Yeah. I truly believe that.
Are they afraid because of all the drill shit that's going on?
That and the I don't want to get you canceled out here, so I'm trying to use my words. Church. I think that, how do I say this?
The views and opinions expressed are those of Khalil.
I think that people want to listen to that music. They don't want to be around the culture that brings it, that live it every day.
So
it might be cool to listen to it in your car, and it might be cool to be listening to it with your friends. But when you out in public and you would, people that feel like that judge you for society or whatever, you shed away from that and just rather be back to your normal culture. Maybe I don't know.
Like that though. Like, hip hop doesn't get as big as it does if the kids in the suburbs aren't buying the NWA, the Ice-T, the Biggie, the Pac. Like,
you gotta follow the money though, too. You gotta follow the big money for it. I feel like they're holding on that last grasp of control.
I don't know, man.
Stakeholders and what is your opinion? Because that's mine. I think that's like their last bit of hope left, that they feel like they can plug us in with the music.
Hey man, I love some good EDM, man. Let me tell you, whoo, that fist pumping.
I love some EDM music too, but I don't want it to be everything. I don't want to listen to 21 Savage and you drop a like an EDM. I don't want to listen to that.
21 Savage on the EDM beat might be fire. Anyways.
See, this is the problem. They convinced you.
I think the problem is.
Hey, this is what I want you to do. Well, Push actually does do that, so I can't.
Push hop on some EDM beats and it was cold. I had my reservations when I saw it up, and I was like, "Oh no, this is kind of sort of great." I think the reasoning is, I don't think the quality is there, and that's not on all of the artists. That's more on like these record labels and everybody. They're grasping at straws, trying to figure out what the next thing is to pop, because like the going viral thing they can't predict it, and they can't put their finger on it. So they're throwing everything out there, and they're not sitting back and like, putting out the quality. Like there's no, there's a label called quality control. There's no quality control in hip hop. Everything comes out. Everything.
Is that why Ice Spice is performing?
Can I? She don't look like a Muppet to nobody else. It really trips me out. But anyways, listen. I don't know if Drake was talking about it. He said it sound good on mute, but
listen. My man said it.
Sound good on
That's
mute.
what it is today.
Like, straight up, like I look at everything that comes out, and I'm like.
But then why doesn't somebody like Lotto get those same type of, same type of attention? You can't tell me that it isn't by appearance or anything like that either. So, and she's spitting real shit.
Oh no, I think Lotto's extremely talented.
Right.
But on the same token, she could afford to
sit
down
you gotta
and
also
really craft a project too. Also, think like these labels and everybody they don't want to spend the big bucks. Like if you look at like the producer list of like a Blueprint, those are expensive ass producers. Like the budgets are going other places. So like you're dependent on the SoundClick kids grabbing beats and things like that.
Yeah,
versus
I was
just
gonna say, like,
put all the money into it.
Yeah,
put all the money into it. Get the best engineer.
It costs
best producers.
Want to get paid.
Like. Because but you see, like you get results when you did it. Big Sean did a whole album, Metro Boomin. It was phenomenal. It was fucking phenomenal. And then and Future doesn't stray away that far from Metro. Neither does Don Toliver. Like when you get the top guys together, put out some classic shit. I think that's part of the problem. Is everything's so microwave. We got to get it out quick because we got to catch that next wave. Because we got to hit the algorithm. Because the streams, because they don't tell you how much a stream is actually worth, and each stream is worth hundreds of dollars, hundreds, because you know how much information about you is in one stream, millions of data points, and that, and I know I'm probably gonna get shot by the record labels from this, but that's what they not telling y'all is your information is the most valuable shit in the world. Spotify and Apple Music cost what it should based on its value to advertisers and everybody, it would be $10,000 a month. Like,
oh, for sure.
And that's the thing, because they're trying to get all these data points to be able to sell back to advertisers to get your algorithm. That's why they need it.
Why do you think that Spotify got a DJ now?
My spot.
That is just an
Spotify
algorithm
DJ got smart as fuck after a couple weeks. I'll rock with him now.
Listen, I rock with my Spotify DJ every day. Listen, and I got both. I got Spotify.
I was off base for a little while. Like he popped up right after R&B Saturday, so he thought I was a real emotional ass nigga. But after a couple of weeks, my Spotify DJ, he got it now. He figured it out.
No, my Spotify DJ know when it's time. He'll throw that Tevin Campbell on, and it's right there. Can we talk?
Not the little Tevin Campbell. Oh man. All right, but this has been fun. I think we're gonna go ahead and get out of here.
Yes, it has,
guys.
Absolutely.
It's Black Music Month. Go listen to some new black music. Let us know what you guys want us to talk about next time around. Khalil, hit the people with your socials and let's bounce up out of here.
My socials are Rashid55 on Twitter, Falcon Kane 55 on IG. It's been a great time talking to A-Dub. Let him kick it back to him.
Thank you for joining me, my brother. This has been fun. Long time coming. I'm sure Luke's gonna yell at us about him not being on, but that's fine. It's whatever. I'm not trying to get canceled on Juneteenth. I'll say that much. But if you guys are looking for me on all the socials, it's ADUB1220. Hit that follow button, and I promise I will fuck up your algorithm with wrestling and filth. Every Friday, I am on Let Me Book the Territory, the greatest wrestling podcast of all time. And this Tuesday, look up Bench Flicks and Chill with my homie E-Ray. I am on there with him and his lady, Big Ari. We are talking about Avatar, The Way of Water. Next week, me and John will be back. We'll talk about the Beal trade and maybe another Chris Paul trade. And then I got an interview with the homie Ace the Press. He just dropped a new project. And then after that, I might finally do this Putting Base Stories episode with the homie Dan. And yeah, it's going to be a fun summer, guys. But until then, we are out.